Greg, is you're a content creator of note now. The best ideas sometimes are just spitballed. We had one on this show just the other day. We have a new segment or idea. We'll see. It's still in its infancy phase. We don't have any venture capital behind it yet. But it's the TB12 heat check. On a scale of 0 to 12. 0 is he's eating frozen pizzas at craft services with Jane Fonda, taking 5, right? No chance of him coming back. 12 is him definitely coming back. Where do you stand on a TB12 heat check here on the Thursday before the new league year?
Segment.
Thank you, sir.
You're gonna have sponsors lined up to sponsor that segment any day. I can sense it.
We can make a podcast out of it for Audiorama. We could do that.
Done. I would love. Let's talk offline. We'd love to make that happen. We are always looking to get great storytellers.
Okay.
Rich. We're happy to take you.
Sounds good. Okay.
We'd be honored. I'd put him at a 7.
See, that's where
everybody's in that 7.
If you say 6 is 50-50, right? I'm not a math major, but let's just call that 50-50.
Right.
I think he's a little shade on the positive. I think that's my take. I don't know what that's based on. I don't know if that's based in reality or if that's based in just all of us football fans hoping he's not done. Maybe some false optimism, but I would go with a 7.
Well, you have experience on leaving football playing behind, but also trying to extend your career as long as possible. You had injuries that obviously factored in, and Brady, from all evidence right now, doesn't appear to be hurt in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, he looks just like Tom Brady. So you have that, I think, insight, and him just leaving a door open. Why does he need to do that? It's other than that he's just being honest about it, I think.
I think that's what it is. I think he's just being honest, and I think there's two ways of thinking about it. I think traditionally the way people view it is, if you're not all the way in and you've been considering retirement, then it's time to step away, right? It can only be done if you're all in, and I think there is some truth to that. But I think for a lot of guys, and I know I was this way, and again, I'm not going to speak for Tom, but for guys that have really poured a lot of their life into this, there's also the element of if there's a little itch left to play, you don't ever want regret, right? You don't want to ever feel like you walked away when you had more left. And when I think about the way my career ended, as you said, my last couple of years, I had that foot problem in 17 and 18, and then I was healthy in 19 and felt really good going into the season, and then came back for one more year in 20 and felt good and felt healthy and had no injuries from the year before and had a great offseason and whatnot. And then I ended up hurting my other foot, which was beyond frustrating. But after 2020, I was like, I'm done. You know what I mean? I got it all out of my system. I had no second thoughts. I didn't even consider it. I think for a lot of guys, people always think of it, to me, backwards. I think as long as there's that little bit of that life left, a little bit of that itch, a little bit of that motivation and passion to continue to pursue this at a high level, it's very hard for guys to just completely slam that door when they can sit there and be very honest with themselves and reflect and say, man, part of me, I can still do this. And what you don't want to happen, every player's biggest fear is that they leave the game and a couple years later they sit back and they say, what if? What if I gave it another year? What if I gave it one more shot? Did I leave? Right? And I think that, and again, I'm not saying that's what's happening with Tom. I'm just saying I could understand that mentality, which is why, as you said, he's kind of always alluded to leaving this door open. He's never really completely slammed it shut. And from that perspective, I understand the train of thought.
I also think, I don't know if there's a what if for a guy with already 7 in the case. It could be, you never know, because you have to have that greed is good type mentality, But maybe it's him just seeing, Rodgers is getting that money, and it's not a money thing, but just he's back, and, everybody's like, Russ has got the trade, and he could just come back and say, it's my league, guys, but don't forget.
Yeah.
That they could do that.
Absolutely. The most successful guys are usually the most highly motivated, and it's an internal motivation where they don't ever accept that anyone else is better than them, right? Tom Brady will, whether he's 24 or 44, he will never in his mind not be the best. And that's just this inner fuel that certain guys have, and they channel it. And it's your greatest strength, but at times it could be your greatest weakness because, you know, it's hard to move on and you become obsessed and it's really all you focus on. And so I think what you're saying is real. And again, I'm speculating. I've never spoken to Tom personally about it. It's hard to know what's in somebody's mind, but someone who's played at such a high level for such a long time, he had a MVP caliber year just this past season. It's not like we're seeing a guy at the tail end of his career fall into the abyss and just be a shell of himself. He's playing at it as good as he ever had. That's a tough thing to just say, okay, I'm done, when maybe in his mind he says, I can still do this.
Yeah, look, we're not going to hold you to it. I mean, it's just an original idea that we just spitballed, and there's no venture capital behind it yet, so we won't hold you to it. But next time you come on, though, we now have a baseline of your 7. That's mine too. I'm 7 also. My guy Brockman here is 11.99. Right, you're not going all the way to 12. Not going all the way to 12 just yet, but yeah.
Got to leave a little bit, Greg. You know what I mean?
A little wiggle room.
Yeah, you got it. That's called the hedge. You're a professional.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.